what happens if you're like, can I make money with this? You know what I mean? Because a lot of people will look at a hobby and that's what it'll just be a hobby. They won't necessarily monetize it. So,
Right.
I mean, it takes I'm sure, you mentioned that your wife and your daughter kind of laughed at you a little bit when you're like, oh, what do you mean you're going to make a movie? So where does that courage come from where you're like, you know what? Maybe I'm good enough to charge for
Right.
what I'm doing.
So that confidence came from what I was instilled, what they instilled in me as a child at the charter school. It goes back to that. It goes back to me feeling like I could do anything I put my mind to. And I still to this day, I have that confidence. Like I have so many different things going on that I'm not going to discuss now, but it's things that you're like, that you would be like, really, Felix, you're doing that? Like, that's crazy. Like, well, that's ambitious, right? But it's that confidence they instilled in me as a child. That's why I say teachers are so important. My wife, when I told her that I wanted to start a business, she thought I was crazy. Like, what? Like, what are you talking about? Like, you made $300 on that bar mitzvah. Like, what do you think we can start a business off that?
Mm.
But she didn't, other than like having her doubts, right? Because she didn't have the same upbringing. She didn't know it was possible for us to even own a business. Like, she didn't know how that worked. And so for her, it was like, whoa, this is like uncharted territory. I know nothing about this. I like my safe jobs, like, 40-hour-a-week jobs, like, like we don't do this. Like, we came from the hood. Like, you work hard and you work for somebody else and you make money and you retire, 401k. That's what you do, right? So this was so new to her and for me too, but it didn't scare me, right? That was the difference. And so what was it again? So I started making a little bit of money, a few $100s on a few like little sweet 15s and little parties and things like that. But the videos were good. People really liked the videos, and I thought they were good. Like, I thought I was good. I look back now and it's like, God, but at the time I thought I was good, right? And that's what I needed to keep moving forward. And one day I came to my wife with this crazy idea that God gave me, right? And I still say it was God because it kind of led me to where I am now. And I told my wife, look, we're both working, but I want to take a year. I need a year. I need you to give me a year off of work. I need you to hold down the fort, hold down the house for a year while I try to get this business started. And if in a year we haven't seen a significant increase in, the business revenue and whatever business, I didn't even have a name for the business at the time, but if I hadn't made much money in videos at the end of the year, it was a wrap for me. I'm going back to Springfield College. I got to, going back to work, wherever I was working at the time, and forget about the business. And my wife, my beautiful, amazing wife, agreed to do it. She trusted God. Not she didn't trust me. She trusted God. And she was like, okay, well, I'll do it. And that's what she did.
Just like that.
Just like that. It wasn't. Maybe I waited one day, maybe. It was like an overnight thing. I told her the night before, by the next day, I already knew, all right, I'm quitting my job. And that's what I did. I quit my job, 2 weeks notice, whatever I did. And I started learning, right? Because I was still very early on in this video stuff. Like, I was crazy, bro. I'm telling you, I was months into picking up a camera and I'm saying I'm going to make a business out of this, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just to show you the level of confidence I had at the time. I wasn't even that good. I barely knew, the proper terms that you learn in filmmaking school or whatever. But what did I do?
The thing also is that you don't have a college degree. Like, this is just self-taught.
Self-taught.
You're like, I'm gonna make this work. I wanna digest this because, you said something very critical, and that is like, that's not what we do. Like, us Hispanics, like, no, you go and you work for somebody else, you get your 401k, and eventually you hope to retire. Right. And even like, in our culture, I don't know how prevalent that was for you growing up, but at least for me, and I talk about this a lot, is that in most Hispanic households, especially with us growing up, it's you go to school, you get a degree, and that's going to set you up to go work for somebody else, and that's your path. you know? So for you to do this, I don't want people to miss like, this is big because that's not what we're taught.
Right.
Like that's not like a thing. Like business is not a thing for the most part.
Right. Unless like you're already the family is already has a business or something. Like for the most
Yeah.
part, it's not something that we're taught or we're even offered the opportunity. Like, hey, this can really you can actually do this. Um, I never had a filmmaker come to my school, and tell me, hey, you can do this, right? Like, no, like that didn't happen in the hood, at least. So it was big, right? It was, and that's why my wife was so kind of shocked at first. Um, but man, we were just in the right situation. Like our rent was just low enough that we could just kind of live off of her income for that year, and whatever else I could.
You guys had a sacrifice, huh?
We did have to sacrifice. We did, yeah, absolutely, we did.
Because
Um,
like you're going on one income and you're like getting maybe $300 a gig. So like,
and I'm barely getting gigs, like, right.
did you guys have like a lot of money saved up? Like, did you prepare for this? Or it was kind of like, hey, your job will kind of cover the bills. I'm going to try to help out where I can. And you want to give this a try?
The money I made, we spent it on my first camera. Like the money, like the money we had saved up, actually, we had a little bit of money saved up, like an emergency account. Not much in it, but it was enough to buy a camera that I needed. And that was hard. That was hard for my wife to kind of like let go and be like, oh wow, like our safety net, really, God, like I'm gonna trust him with this. And she did. She did eventually, but she saw me. I was busting my butt every day getting educated. I didn't even go right into like trying to get a lot of jobs. I wanted to get educated because I knew that there was so much information that I didn't know. I didn't go to film school, right? I didn't go to business school. So I need to get educated. And what was available to me? Books and YouTube. That's all I had. And that's all I needed to get started and really to get to where I am now. Like everything I learned, YouTube University, man, and just persistence and hard work and making mistakes. So you thank God for my career choice, video production. You don't need a college degree. Sure, a lot of people do get them, but a lot of people don't as well. So I was blessed enough or lucky enough to end up doing something that didn't require, like I couldn't come to Claudia and be like, hey, I'm gonna open up a law office or something, right? Because what am I gonna do? Be the reception and hire a lawyer? I just right because but this with hard work and determination and not giving up, I was able to build the business up slowly, little by little, right? Like I mentioned, doing the weddings, and that's really where I got really known, and that's where I really got established, and it was like making decent money, when I started getting into weddings, because I learned everything I could learn about filmmaking and making cinematic wedding videos. And my goal was always to make a better video than the last one, right? My next wedding has to look better than my last one. And when you have that attitude, you challenge yourself and you try to do better and you do different things. And so that was my mentality for the first few years of starting that business.